Nationals accusing Labour of hypocrisy in the battle for the Mount Albert by-election. Labour is likely to choose international humanitarian worker David Shearer as its candidate. But 3 News has obtained articles written by Shearer where he's arguing for private military companies, mercenaries, to be hired by the United Nations to go to war. National and the Greens say the position is hypocritical and a disaster. Political editor Duncan Garner has the story.
They've been labelled gung-ho, reckless, dogs of war, mercenaries and rampaging Rambos. They post their missions on the internet. They are the private military security company Blackwater, working in Iraq under contract to the American government. Unpopular too, in 2007 they shot dead an Iraqi man, his wife and baby. But Labour's likely candidate in Mount Albert has argued these private companies should become the norm, should be hired by the United Nations to go into some war zones.
These companies are here, they're here to stay, and we need to regulate them.
Shearer's worked for the UN in many hot spots. His support of private military companies in war is not lost on National.
It's a hypocritical position from the Labour Party, who campaigned that National had a secret agenda for privatisation, yet lo and behold the new poster boy for Mount Albert from Labour wants to privatise the army.
Shearer is likely to be selected as Labour's candidate for the June by-election, but arguing for private companies, he wrote, as the economic and political costs of peacekeeping escalate, it may increasingly make sense for multilateral organisations and Western governments to consider outsourcing some aspects of these interventions to the private sector. He continues, where civilians are preyed upon by rebel groups or their own governments, other options deserve to be put into the mix. If nothing else, military companies offer another arrow in the quiver of international response. But Phil Goff, who even opposes private prisons here, is defending Shearer's views.
What National is showing is that they're really scared that Labour's got potential candidates of the calibre of David Shearer.
Well, we think mercenaries have been a bit of a disaster where they've been used around the world. Certainly in Iraq they were a disaster. So, I don't think that's a very good idea, and I hope David's changed his mind.
None of this is likely to end Shearer's hopes of winning the Labour nomination, but it is a warning that this by-election could get a little dirty. Labour is, of course, desperate to hold on to Helen Clark's old seat, and National has nothing to lose. Duncan Garner, 3 News.